Cristiano Ronaldo's story doesn't begin in stadiums packed with screaming fans. It begins on a tiny island in the Atlantic Ocean, Madeira, Portugal. It begins in a cramped house with a tin roof, paint peeling from the walls, and the salty ocean wind blowing through cracked windows. It begins with a young boy named Cristiano, who didn't have much to call his own, except for a wild, unstoppable dream. Long before the world chanted his name, Cristiano was just another kid running barefoot through the narrow, steep streets of Cowes. His family didn't have money for new clothes, let alone for bubbles. When it rained, the roof leaked. When there wasn't enough food, his mother would find a way to make a pot of soup stretch for 4 children. His father, Jose Denizavo, worked as a gardener for the city and cleaned at a local football club. His mother, Maria Dolores, cleaned houses and cooked for neighbors just to earn a few more escort. Cristiano's bed was squeezed into a tiny room he shared with his brother, Hugo. He'd lie awake at night, listening to the ocean winds, imagining what it would feel like to step into a massive stadium. People chanting his name, bright lights shining down, a ball at his feet. His dreams were bigger than his world, and sometimes that was the only thing that kept him going. His father, Dennis, loved football but was haunted by his own demons. Alcoholism slowly stole his strength and presence. Sometimes he disappeared for days. Even then, he made sure little Cristiano had a ball to keep. For his father, football was an escape he never got to live, but maybe his son would. At just 8 years old, Cristiano joined Andorio, a small local team where his father volunteered. He didn't know it then, but this was the first real sacrifice in a life full of them. Lisbon was huge, loud, and cold compared to Fonchal's warm familiarity. At the sporting academy, he was mocked for his Madan accent. All the boys called him crybaby because he'd sob at night, longing for home. But when he stepped onto the pitch, the tears dried up. He was a beast on the ball. Quick, ruthless, untouchable. While other kids snuck out for mischief, Cristiano was on the training ground alone. He'd run sprints, lift makeshift weights, and practice free kicks until the groundskeeper turned off the floodlights. He hated losing so much that if his teammates slacked off in practice, he'd get angry and train alone. Coaches noticed. Some thought he was too cocky, but one by one, they realized this wasn't arrogance, it was obsession. At 15, his mother, Maria Dolores, once said she considered an abortion when she found out she was pregnant with him. She confessed this to him later in life, and instead of anger, Cristiano turned it into fear. She tried to abort me, he once told a reporter. But God didn't want that to happen. That's why I'm here, to prove I was meant to live. When he turned 12, the opportunity of a lifetime came knocking. Sporting CP, one of Portugal's biggest clubs, wanted him in their academy. But that meant leaving Madeira, leaving his family, the island's salty breeze, his mother's cooking, the only life he'd ever known. His mother packed his small suitcase. They hugged for what felt like hours. At the airport, Cristiano promised her he'd make her proud. He'd make them rich one day. She smiled through tears. He boarded the plane alone, a scared 12-year-old with a heart full of hope and fear. He didn't know it then, but this was the first real sacrifice in a life full of them. Lisbon was huge, loud, and cold compared to Fonchal's warm familiarity. At the sporting academy, he was mocked for his Madan accent. All the boys called him crybaby because he'd sob at night, longing for home. But when he stepped onto the pitch, the tears dried up. He was a beast on the ball. Quick, ruthless, untouchable. While other kids snuck out for mischief, Cristiano was on the training ground alone. He'd run sprints, lift makeshift weights, and practice free kicks until the groundskeeper turned off the floodlights. He hated losing so much that if his teammates slacked off in practice, he'd get angry and train alone. Coaches noticed. Some thought he was too cocky, but one by one, they realized this wasn't arrogance, it was obsession. At 15, Cristiano's heart nearly ended everything. Doctors found he had a racing heartbeat dangerous enough to stop him from playing forever. His mother wept when she heard the news, but Cristiano told her he'd be fine. He had to be fine. He underwent laser surgery to fix his heart. Just days later, he was back on the pitch, training as if nothing happened. Giving up was never an option. By 16, Sporting Lisbon's coaches knew they had something special. They put him in with the older boys and he made them look foolish. He'd fake one way, burst the other, leaving defenders spinning. Word spread fast. There was a kid at Sporting who could do things others only dreamed of. Then in 2003 came the match that changed football history forever. Sporting Lisbon played a friendly against Manchester United. The English giants expected an easy game. Instead, they got a masterclass from a skinny teenager wearing green and white. Ronaldo humiliated seasoned Premier League defenders, leaving them chasing shadows. His stepovers were lightning quick, his pace electric. When the final whistle blew, the United players begged their manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, to sign him immediately. They'd never seen anything like him. Sir Alex, known for his eye for talent, made a decision right then and there. Cristiano Ronaldo must wear red for 1,024 million, a record for a teenager at the time. Manchester United brought the boy from Madeira to England. He didn't speak much English. He missed home. He missed his mother. But when he pulled on the iconic number 7 shirt, the same one worn by George Best, Eric Cantona, David Beckham, he knew he had to be worthy of it. At United, Cristiano was a raw talent who dazzled crowds with flicks and tricks. But Sir Alex didn't want a showman. He wanted a champion. He told Ronaldo, there's more to football than stepovers. End product wins games. Cristiano listened. He stayed behind after training when everyone else was gone. He'd take 100 free kicks until he got it right. He lifted weights, built his legs into pistons of power, and turned his skinny frame into a machine. Teammates mocked his vanity, his endless mirror checks. But when they saw him blow past them on the pitch, they realized it wasn't vanity, it was standards. In 2006, he faced one of his biggest tests. At the World Cup, England faced Portugal. During the game, Wayne Rooney, Cristiano's United teammate, got sent off after an incident with Ronaldo nearby. The English press turned on him viciously. They called him a cheat, a traitor. He received death threats. He thought about leaving England altogether, but Sir Alex backed him. Cristiano responded the only way he knew how, by becoming unstoppable. In 2008, he won his first Ballon d'Or. He fired United to a Champions League title, scoring 42 goals in all competitions. The boy who once played barefoot on Madeira streets was now the best player in the world. In 2009, Real Madrid made him the most expensive footballer on earth, paying 80 million for the privilege. In Madrid, Cristiano transformed into a goal-scoring phenomenon. 451 goals in 438 matches. He broke records for fun. He won 4 Champions Leagues with Madrid. The Ronaldo versus Messi debate became football's eternal argument. Messi, the magical artist, dancing past defenders like a phantom. Ronaldo, the relentless machine, forging greatness through sheer will. 2 players, 2 styles, 1 era defined by their brilliance. Off the pitch, Cristiano built an empire. The CR7 brand, hotels, Guillaume's clothing lines, perfumes, yet he never forgets where he came from. He's donated millions to children's hospitals. He paid for a 9-year-old fan's cancer treatment. He auctioned one of his Ballon d'Or trophies to fund children's education. He's fiercely protective of his family. He adores his mother. He calls her his rock. His children are his pride. Even now, playing in Saudi Arabia, many say he's finished. Yet, every game he scores, assists, leads. Because for Cristiano, there's always another record to break, another mountain to climb. Cristiano Ronaldo isn't perfect. He's human. He's made mistakes. But if you want a blueprint for what it looks like to drag yourself from nothing to everything, look no further than the boy who turned tears into trophies and dreams into reality. If you're watching this now, maybe you have your own version of Madeira's dusty streets. Maybe you're fighting through your own lonely nights. Maybe you feel like no one believes in you. If that's you, take this story with you. Let it remind you that your struggle can be your superpower. Cristiano Ronaldo's life is proof that the only limits are the ones you accept. When they say you can't train harder, when they mock you, use it. When you fall, get up again and again. Because sometimes the only thing separating the kid with nothing from the man with everything is the courage to believe it's possible. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.